Hey guys, this is Starcraft and I'm back to cast another 2v2 match for you. This one will be on Scorched Haven and it's going to be between Power, the red Terran, and haCkProTech, the blue Zerg, and their opponents will be LaTeGaMe, the purple Terran, also known I believe as Sorcery, and his partner will be Legend, the teal Zerg. Now, I absolutely had to cast this replay. Hopefully my voice box will hold up and not have massive phlegm attack and ruin this broadcast, but anyway, so I really had to cast this when I saw it, and this is really strange to me. Okay, Sorcery has two accounts here, one of which is called LaTeGaMe, and apparently he is not streaming when he's playing on LaTeGaMe. So already I am extremely suspicious of this. As you guys all know, Sorcery has admitted to hacking in the past. So here's a guy who has admitted to hacking. It has another account, and all I've been hearing about is, oh, Sorcery doesn't hack anymore. He's been streaming, live streaming, and all this. So just because you don't hack on one account, it doesn't make it okay to hack on another account. So we'll see if anything looks suspicious in this game, as I'm really worried about the fact that he may still be hacking, and that would just be so sad, so depressing for everyone in the gaming community if that were true. So you guys will be the judge, and hopefully I will catch anything that looks suspicious. If not, feel free to post in the comments if you notice something. As hey man, this is the Starcraft channel. This is fair and balanced. I have been saying that I'm willing to forgive Sorcery and whatnot if he is not hacking anymore and stuff, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be suspicious. So we'll see how this game turns out. It is a mirror matchup, Zerg Terran, so I guarantee you, again, this is not a 5-month-old replay, so there is pretty much going to be Zergling Hellion openers, and we'll see how that manages to pan out. Look at the building placement here from LaTeGaMe. You know he's got this all planned out, and here's the Zergling engagement at the beginning here in the middle. Looks like ProTech actually getting the better there by one Zergling of that engagement, but he is going to run into LaTeGaMe's base, and that's going to be trouble because Legend is chasing him around with his Zerglings. And more Zerglings streaming in. Reinforcing Zerglings are going to be meeting here. And by the way, it looks like Power is slightly ahead in his build, as his and I think that means Power is asking for gas from ProTech. And so it looks like because he wants to go ahead and he's asked for gas for his second factory. That's interesting there. And whoa, ProTech is still able to pecking away at this. He's still pecking away at this reactor. Interesting there. As LaTeGaMe trying to throw down his second factory, and it looks like Legend is going to have just barely enough Zerglings to prevent any more of that harassment. And now that ProTech's speed has finished, he will retreat with his Zerglings, as Legend speed is just now finishing as well. And actually, whereas Power looks to be ahead in his build order earlier, they look like they are about the same now. As LaTeGaMe has somehow caught up here, he's going to be landing this on the Tech Lab, and he does have enough to go immediately for that Infernal Pre-Igniter, and Power will as well. So, whoa, oops, there, LaTeGaMe lifted off his factory and has to start over he has to start his Infernal Pre-Igniter over, and so he is going to be about 10 seconds behind now. I wonder if that is going to come into play. It will be very interesting. And so, setting up a wall here, pretty nice positioning there from Legend and LaTeGaMe. Power trying to get in there first with his Hellions to get that first shot. And looks like they are going to fall back here, and both teams' armies are basically identical. And so LaTeGaMe and Legend are going to decide to fall back. And obviously when you both have identical sized armies here, you don't want to be the one engaging at the other side. Because because obviously the other team can reinforce that much more quickly, and they will be able to overwhelm you and counter, and you will lose. So it looks like Power is saying something about going after roaches. And ProTech is already throwing down that roach war and is halfway done. So those will be a strong counter against the Hellions, and looks like they are going to sneak around the side here and possibly try and take out a few Zerglings and then run away. But this is a pretty formidable army here. Here we go, and the timing is perfect for Power. He does have the Infernal Pre-Igniter finished, and oh no, late game, his Infernal Pre-Igniter just now finishing, and it looks like he may actually be able to hold this off. Wow. Wow, I'm really surprised there because Power had the perfect timing on that attack, and it looked like he roasted so many of Legend's Zerglings at the beginning. I'm really surprised that they were able to to hold that off. And I want to say, I feel like I want to pause now and go back and check that, but like, what vision does the right team have right now? I'm not sure how they knew exactly when that attack was coming up, but they did manage to get pretty good positioning there in the nick of time. I'm tempted to rewind, but I don't want to ruin the game by constantly by constantly rewinding to check for any indications of hacking. So maybe I'll make notes of like different times in the game here, so that I can go back at the end and really examine this, whether you guys think a late game is hacking or not. So that happened, I think maybe about, was that about 8 minutes there? So we'll see. Maybe at the end I'll go back and take a look if I'm not exhausted by that point. But ProTech is going to be setting up a wall here with his roaches. And see, ProTech, they have vision of the other army right here. ProTech's sitting here with his Overlord. Meanwhile, they do not have vision of the army. Legend does not. Though I will say that with this Overlord here, he did see the units running this way. So I think that may be a bit of a stretch to say they're hacking because they knew that army was coming around from the bottom. So maybe I won't go back and bother with that one. We'll see if there's anything else. But now Marauders are coming out for late game, so he's making that switch preemptively. And I'm not going to say that's indications of hacking because that is a pretty standard switch off of Hellions into Marauders. And Legend also going for Roaches. So both teams pretty much doing the same thing here. You can see what these 2v2s in Zerg versus Zerg and Zerg Terran have evolved into is pretty much the same type of strategy, it looks like. And Power getting that concussive shells right now for his Marauders, and I wonder if Sorcery, or excuse me, late game does not have the concussive shells or stim pack. But yeah, so Power's Marauder upgrades are much quicker, so there could be an opportunity for a timing attack. But look at the concave right here from the top team, so much better. But these Hellion pre-igniters are really not doing much at all against all these roaches, and Power's pre-igniters in the back. This is a pretty even exchange right now for both teams, and it looks like actually Power and ProTech are going to gain the edge in this battle, and they're going to be able to press forward here. And now with all these Hellions alive for Power, he will be able to go after the mineral line of the top team. But oh no, it looks like late game did have some desperation Hellions out here and Marauders to really soften that up. But Power really wants to get some shots off on these SCVs, and it looks like he is going to be able to do just that. So many SCVs are going to go down here. One more shot, two more shots. Oh, it looks like a lot of them did die, but at the same time, the Hellions were cleaned up here, and Legend now bringing in some roaches to finish that off. So some economic damage done there by the left team. So a nice attack there, and looks like we're going to be continuing to mass up the same types of units here, and it looks like Power is suggesting to ProTech, go for mutas. There is no anti-air here, so Power is going to tell him go for mutas, and he'll send the gas. And so we'll see when and if that Spire does go down for ProTech, and we'll see how the right team reacts to that, as now the Spire has gone down for ProTech. And where is the Spire going down? And it's going down in the back of his mineral line. And at the same time, Legend is going to be expanding down here, and ProTech's expansion pretty much at the same time. I mean, look at the. Can you guys believe the it's just like the exact same builds going on either side. It is just crazy. It is like a mirror build right now. And ProTech gonna be throwing down a Spine Crawler here. The only difference in this build, Spine Crawler versus Bunker. And the fact that there is this Spire that is now more than halfway done for ProTech. And I don't know. The team on the right is just really not going to be ready for Mutalisk unless they do something quickly. There's not even an Evo Chamber or Spore Callers out here for Legend at all. I don't see an Engineering Bay for late game either. He is throwing down an expansion here. So the Spire is about to finish now for ProTech, and unless they get down an Engineering Bay or something, as here goes the Engineering Bay for the team on the right. And I want to check their vision as this is happening. And as you can tell, there is no way they would know right now that there is a Spire going down. However, that being said, you can make that assumption. So again, I'm not going to sit here and say that because there's an Engineering Bay going down here right when the Spire finished, that means that there's hacking going on. It does not mean that there's hacking going on. It is just suspicious. But again, I mean, this is a pretty standard play. I mean, how long are you going to go without your Engineering Bay when you have a bunch of Marines and Marauders? And you can see down here that there's only so many roaches. There's not really that many. It's not like he's massing roaches or anything like that. I mean, he could have maybe been going for infestors or something. But even then, you're going to want to get an Engineering Bay at the 15-minute mark anyway. So, but Legend was prepared for this, and he does have a Spore Crawler in the back here, and these Mutalisks are going to be pretty much useless because of all the air defense. And the one thing that is pretty suspicious about this is one thing for an Engineering Bay to go down, but for the Zerg player to immediately be throwing down Spore Crawlers inside his mineral line is pretty much a surprise, because again, they have no vision here of either base. Legend does have some Zerglings chilling out here, possibly waiting to run by as soon as Power and ProTech decide to push out. But ProTech's going to be content here to, it looks like, just start cleaning up Overlords and get some more map vision, as Power meanwhile is going for tanks, and he now has a starport on the way, so we'll see what that is about, as there are tanks coming out and still making some Hellions here. Interesting there, as I guess he knows that there are some Marines here for a late game. So I don't know what that was supposed to be. Dude, this is so annoying, you guys. Does this happen to you guys too, where like every time they do a little update, like they change it from version 1.3.2 to 1.3.3, all of a sudden your chat filter gets turned back on, and it's so annoying. Like, I swear, I have to keep doing this chat filter thing. And I guess I should go ahead and I guess I could do that right now in the middle of the cast. Let's see here. BattleNet. Mature language filter. Why is that checked? I don't understand it. Why does that continue to be automatically checked? That is really annoying. I don't know what that's about. And so we do now see pathogen glands coming out for ProTech, so it looks like he's going to be going for those ever so powerful infestors. I'm telling you guys, they're so powerful now, I almost think they're overpowered at this point. Especially, again, you guys heard me bitch over and over about the High Templars getting nerfed. I just feel like that was so strange for them to beef up infestors and then nerf High Templars. I'll never understand that. Please somebody explain that to me. I just don't get it. Maybe I didn't know how to use the High Templars right, but I never thought it was that overpowered to be able to warp in a High Templar that had enough for a Psystorm. I didn't ever really think that that was unfair. So, anyway, enough of that rant again, as there are 2 tanks, 4 tanks here, and 3 bunkers full of Marauders, so this is going to be really difficult front to break here. But there are medevacs here for Power, so getting a little too close here. I feel like if Power had set up these tanks in a further away position, he could have shelled away at these bunkers and these tanks, and gotten the vision he needed with the air units here. And it looks like, Legend is going to be sending these roaches. It looks like he wasn't paying attention. Roach is taking a lot of damage there. And now ProTech flying in with the Mutalisks to take out this tank in the front. And here comes the Marines to try and defend that. A little bit too late are those Marines. So here comes the press. This is going to be a very, very even battle right now. There are more medevacs coming out. That is not going to make a huge difference right now, but the stim timing very, very good here for late game, and this is going to be so even, but there are 4 tanks in the back, 5 tanks in the back for Power, and he is unsieging them now and moving forward. There are 2 tanks on the high ground for late game that may just keep him in this game. And Marauders coming down here right now. Those are going to die. Legend now with some Mulus of his own, though. He is going to be able to pick off the siege tank. No anti-air for Power and ProTech, and more tanks coming out for late game. It looks like this is going to be a pretty even exchange. Again, it has been an even exchange, but there are Marines now in play for Power, so that is going to force the Mutalists away. Mutalists, though, now are going to return here and focus down these Marines, and it looks like... And could we see a fungal growth on these Mutalists? There it goes, but it looks like ProTech did miss a couple of these. He's going to throw some Infested Terrans out, but those not so good against the Mutalists. Though these Mutalists are going to turn and engage the Infested Terrans and die. And ProTech sending in so many roaches right now. He is taking out Legend's natural expansion is completely gone. And he is actually going to be pressing into the main right now. Legend's main has nothing to defend it. He has a Greater Spire and one Corruptor on the way. Did I miss some other Corruptors or Broodlords or something? As I do, there are no Corruptors already in play for Legend. So this Greater Spire looks like it's going to get picked off. Actually, no, Legend did just manage to get out 8 Mulus here at the last minute. He is trying to work on these roaches. And at the same time, looks like Power's attack has been pushed back finally by late game. ProTech, yeah, needs to turn back with these reinforcements. And late game is just allowing Legend's base to fall, not sending any reinforcements there. And I'm a little bit surprised by that. And it's just going to be a matter of time before all these roaches die, but how much damage will ProTech be able to do? He's going to take out the Infestation Pit. He's going to go after the Roach War, and finally late game is sending some units up here. And the Roach Warren's going to die, so pretty much everything has gone down, and he is going to burrow the roaches to run away and just be that much more annoying. But unfortunately, those roaches got in range of that Spore Crawler. At the same time, though, throughout that entire attack, yeah, ProTech's been grabbing his third, and he's already got it fully saturated there. Look at the droning from ProTech. Nicely done there. And so a lot of you guys that have been dogging ProTech's late game play, pretty solid in this game, I would say. And it looks like they're going to continue to press it. And Power wants to do an elevator on late game space, I think. But now he is turning back and saying, go front, go front. So, like identical armies here for the Terran players. The difference is that there are these roaches. Uh-oh, though, ProTech running right into a bad spot. The positioning was perfect here for late game. And he is going to force back these roaches. Again, I'm not sure. There is, yeah, the scan going off now, but I'm not sure how he had vision there. But again, that is not, that doesn't mean that he is hacking or has map hacks or anything. Because if he had map hacks, this army probably would have been going for this base. So, not so sure. We'll see. I haven't seen anything this game that has shown me that there's clearly hacking going on here. But again, why? I don't know why Sorcery has this other account and why he doesn't stream on this account. I'm not sure. But anyway, again, enough digressing about that. He is sitting here with his army now, and he does not have any vision of what's going on with the left team. So I'm like sitting here. I'm playing. I'm playing like a CSI right now to see whether there is hacking going on. And so now Power's army is moving around the top, and late game has no idea that there's an army about to be coming around the top here, and he doesn't seem to be even reacting to it. He's just sitting there. And now this base has been scouted by late game, and I think that maybe that base had been scouted before. I guess he just didn't care about it or couldn't afford to move an entire army down there. And the siege tanks, ProTech is coming right up the gut here before Power, it looks like, before he was really ready there. And so a lot of roaches died from ProTech and running into the gauntlet there. I'm a bit surprised by that play. I'm not sure if he meant to do that, as Power at the same time is trying to shell away. There are scans going off all over the place. Late game trying to use those medevacs to gain the extra range on his tanks with the vision. Power is trying to scoot up his tanks, but he's taking a lot of damage in the process. This tank can't shoot this one until the scan goes off, which it just did, but that tank is going to die. So tank war is going on right now, with scans being used all over the place. And let's see if Legend has really, he's starting to get back into this game. It looks like he's trying to make some roaches. ProTech again going to be pressing the front here. Needs to be trying to focus these tanks down, and he is going to be able to do that. There goes the fungal growth from ProTech. Where did it even come from? I can't even find the infestor that did that. Here it is. And that last fungal growth really made a big difference. There are Vikings here now for power, so he will be able to gain the air advantage and get that vision. And now pressing right into late game's natural expansion. And it looks like that is going to do it, I think. I don't know what late game is going to be able to do at this point. He is completely lost his economy. And no, excuse me, late game does have a base down here. And base has not been seen. I think that base just freshly landed there, actually. And so he is desperately trying to get more minerals. At the same time, ProTech looks like it's going to be finishing off the Legends base down here with his roaches. Tanks doing work here. And so, seeing late game play, I'm always just suspicious when I see that guy. And I guess that is sorcery. Look at how many drones just got blown to pieces right there. That was crazy. So Legend is done ski. And it looks like Power going to move his army in here just to make sure Legend is done ski. I guess when he sees base is not rebuilt. No. Now Legend is done. And Sorcery trying to set up some sort of defense and just hang on in this game, but it is not going to happen. ProTech has the Greater Spire about to finish. These Corruptors are going to turn into Broodlords and rain down the pain if late game doesn't surrender before that. Actually, Power is going to lift off here and looks like try and sneak around the backside. No, he's going to drop down the bottom. Okay, he doesn't want to run into this gauntlet. And meanwhile, ProTech has burrowed roaches inside this army. And gotta be careful though, because this missile turret is about to finish, and these roaches are going to get shot and taken out here, doing a little bit of damage to his own marines. ProTech needs gas to make more Broodlords. And so he is asking for that gas, as Power just sent everything he has. And now going to be setting up his perimeter. And at the same time, roaches will clean up this base down here at the bottom. And late game is running SCVs into the gauntlet here, and now just trying to push forward. It looks like that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Power and ProTech, the team that I've always said is just not fair to put them on the same team. Hacking or not, they seem to win all the time. So anyway, I love watching those two guys play, and again, I just don't think that there was anything really that indicates that there was hacking going on in this. I mean, Power did send me this replay again. Thank you, Power. It was a pretty exciting game, and really back and forth there at the beginning for a while, but the left team did gain the upper hand there, and again, there was some occasional suspicious behavior, but there's nothing. I don't think there's anything that would be outright suggesting that late game was hacking in this game. So that is just my opinion. Feel free to post your own opinion on that matter or whatnot in the comments section. And if there's some stuff that I missed that you guys noticed that may have been suspicious, feel free. So that is going to do it for me. This is IRE Starcraft, and peace out.